Hello everyone and welcome back to this brand new Magic Gathering Arena video. So for today I have a quite spicy deck for you. So it's called Niv-Mizzet Incarnation and it's built around Enigmatic Incarnation and Niv-Mizzet. So how does the deck function? Enigmatic Incarnation is a card that lets you search your library for any creature that costs 1 plus any enchantment you sacrifice at the beginning of the end step. So what can we do with this? Cheat Niv-Mizzet in. Exactly. So our 5 drops are mainly Tulsimir, Tristani, and Niv-Mizzet. All of these are good cards, and depending on what we need on the board state, we'll get one of them. We can also get Kenrith. So Pulukronos, Atris, and Wicked Wolf is the cards that we can get as a 4-drop. So how does this deck function? So we have a bunch of value enchantments, like for example, Elspeth's Nightmare. We can sacrifice it after having destroyed something. Treacherous Blessing, so we use it to draw 3, and then to get rid of the drawback that we have to pay 1 life whenever we play a spell, we just sacrifice it to Enigmatic Incarnation and get any of our valuable 4 drops. Oath of Kaya does the same thing. Fires of Invention is here to make our life a bit easier because we are a 5-color deck. But one cool combo you can pull off is you can play Fires of Invention, and then on the same turn play Enigmatic Incarnation, use Incarnation to sacrifice fires and get a Niv-Mizzet. So what's better than a Turn 5 Niv-Mizzet? A Turn 4 Niv-Mizzet indeed. That's pretty much it for the video. I'll leave a link for the deck list in the description. You guys asked me to do that in my previous video. Without further ado, let's get into our games. But before we do so, I would like to please ask you to sub, leave a like, and comment what do you want to see me play next. I'll see you in the games. Game number 1 of Niv-Mizzet Incarnated, and we keep I think we're gonna keep this hand because it has potentially Niv-Mizzet on turn 5. It's a pretty slow hand, so if our opponent is playing mono red, we get punished. If he's playing anything else, I think we're gonna be fine. And I'm sorry, I'm still in gold, but I haven't had the time to grind my way up in the ladder, and I've been playing Jank in the past couple of videos, so you can't really rank up with Jank that easily. Does that give us all 5 colors of mana? I think it does. So red, blue, white, yeah, I think that gives us all the colors, so we're gonna keep that. I'm gonna say hello to my opponent. I hope he's not playing mono red. He's not playing mono red, that's always good to see. So scry again. Wicked Wolf gives us something to play on curve, so we're gonna keep that. So Enigmatic Incarnation can cast spells on curve. That's not what it's trying to do, but it's something it can do, so it does it. So we're probably playing Breeding Pool tapped, since we don't have anything to do with it. A line of play that would bother me a bit would be maybe having an Absorb on turn 5, but what I think I'm gonna do is play the Wicked Wolf in case he plays this Teferi, and have him bounce that. Alright, so Fires is actually better because now he has 2 things to deal with, and you can potentially cast Tristani and Niv-Mizzet, or whatever we get from Niv-Mizzet. So you're gonna play this for its alternate cost, and if we had any way to give it 1 more counter, we would have made it fight with the wall, but we do not, sadly. So if he deals with both of these, what happens next turn is that he has to deal with a Niv-Mizzet resolving. That's not something a Azorius control deck does well. I mean, the value it generates is brutal for that deck. So he's just gonna bounce. Veto might be the only thing that can... Nothing actually, he can't counter anything. So we're just gonna pay 2 life, play a Niv-Mizzet. That's always good to see. And we're trying to hit an Oath of Kaya to potentially just destroy this. Just deal 3 damage to it. Mystical Dispute, and yeah, that earns the concede, and I'll see you guys in game number 2. Alright, so game number 2 of Niv-Mizzet Incarnated, and this is a pretty slow hand, but assuming my opponent is not playing some aggro deck, I think we're gonna be fine, so I'm gonna risky keep, but he's probably mono red on this ladder. He's not mono red. So Temple of Plenty is just gonna scry us to maybe a Fires. I don't think I want an Elspeth's Nightmare yet because I have no idea what my opponent is doing. So right now we can produce green, black, blue, red, and white, so we can hardcast Niv-Mizzet if we ever get to that. So Temple of Plenty, if he's playing Azorius Control, I think we're in a good position, because what we can do is we can run out Kenrith. He's probably going to counter Kenrith, and the next turn try to hit him with something else. We can do a lot of things in this deck to pressure our opponent to counter. So third island, not a fairy, makes me really wonder what kind of deck he is. We're just gonna play our breeding pool and pass. We're no pressure to do anything yet, we're no pressure to react. Alternatively, I could have played Steam Vents, but it's not gonna be that huge of an issue. So let's see. Opponent plays an Archon maybe. Okay, so opponent does play an Archon, meaning we can run out our fires safely. It's not gonna do anything. But what it can set up for is, if it doesn't get bounced with the fairy, a Niv-Mizzet. So if he can't counter both, what he can do is play the fairy. Right, so Elspeth conquers that, not the thing I expected, but it's not that backbreaking. You can just hardcast Niv-Mizzet next turn. And after hardcasting Niv-Mizzet, we're in a pretty good spot. I mean, if we hit an Oath of Gaia or a... I did not want to draw 3 Niv-Mizzet, but I'll take that. Enigmatic Incarnation Oath of Gaia would be a pretty good draw. So Polukranos and a Thought Erasure is also fine. I think I'm the unluckiest Niv player alive. So next turn, what do we go for? Kenneth's haste attack, probably that. If he attacks with the Archon, I'm not gonna block because I don't want to give him something to get back with the Elspeth. I think his line of play is probably gonna be Field of Ruin, whatever land produces red, just cut me out on some lands. The fairy bounce does not make sense either. Maybe tries to start pressuring me with some flying damage, but I don't think that's that good of a play. What we agree on is that Archon is gonna be left unblocked because of the reasons I just told you about. I don't want this to get him any value. The less value he generates over in this matchup, the better for us. So what could be a back-breaking thing for us? So if he plays that the fairy attacks, so we're not gonna block the Archon, obviously we're just gonna block his token. We're not gonna give him the ability to get back something. Double Omen would be a bit backbreaking because he gets 2 other... So we're probably not gonna attack with Niv. What can my opponent do that's that backbreaking? Alright, so Shatter the Sky gives him 100% chance of getting something back from the Elspeth. So I wanted to see a Fires, we sadly do not see Fires. Sacred Foundry can go back to our deck. So do I Thought Erasure, or do I just play Polukranos and start pressuring him? That's the question. I think Archon with less enchantments in his hand is bad for him. I think we're just gonna run out Niv-Mizzet. And try to dig for Oath of Gaia, and well, he could have Mystical Dispute. It's not the biggest problem. So what we can do next turn is Kenneth Haste or Niv-Mizzet again. If he has another counter spell, I mean we're probably losing regardless. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We don't have another blue source, so it's impossible for us to Thought Erasure and then use it. So I think what we're gonna go for is Thought Erasure and then Trostani, try to gain back some life so we don't lose to just a flying Archon. And Trostani renders Ancient of Treachery useless. I think if he's playing that, he's a bit behind. Can we actually play? I just realized we might be able to play Thought Erasure and Niv-Mizzet. So we have blue, black. Do we have all the other colors? No. Yeah. Unless we top like a blue source. In which case we would have blue, black, and then we have white. Yeah, I don't think we can cast both. And playing 5 color decks is super hard just because of this, checking if you can or cannot do something. So I think Thought Erasure Trostani is the good play next turn. Polukranos might also be an option. Do we have enough to play him and fight? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We actually do have enough to play him and fight, so maybe we go for that as well. I hope my opponent does not lose, does not time out. I don't want to win that way. Alright, so Dulcimere is also a good draw, except we can't kill this. So let's Thought Erasure. Let's see if that earns a veto or a counter spell. If he has Absorb, he's probably just gonna run it out, because it's useless for him to not use it. Just loses it for no value. He probably has another board wipe in hand. If he has an Omen or double Omen, that would be quite painful for us. But I don't think he has them. That's the thing. If he's thinking that bad, he's probably thinking on whether to counter or not. So let's see, depending on what my opponent does, if he plays a temple, if he plays an enchantment or anything, just play this, have it fight. He does not. I think we run out Arcaneth. That way we can run out Rostani next turn, and then if we do, we can just haste everything up and swing. So he has an Omen. He does have an Omen, sadly. And he's gonna get a trigger. We're gonna go down to 6. That's assuming he doesn't hit another Omen. So we're going pretty down with life total, but Kenneth hopefully next turn paired up with Rostani can get us back into this game. We can just create 2 of these, attack. He's gonna go down to... I think we're in a tough spot. Just to say the least, we're in a pretty tough spot, but I think we can come back from it. He's not showing that much of value. Niv-Mizzet might be a good decision as well. We'll see. Teferi is not what we wanted to see, to say the least.
Thank me later.
So Teferi renders a lot of our plans useless. I think we're going for Pelucranos fight, because we can't have this generate more value. So let's see, do we have the mana to do both? We have double green, and yes, I think we're going for Pelucranos fight.
I've got time.
I think we should have went for that play last turn, but I was too stupid to go for it. Right now, if he top decks absorb, we're pretty punished. So let's hope he has something. He runs out now. He does not. He does not. Alright, so Wicked Wolf. Does Wicked Wolf change anything? No. So let's just run out Pelucranos, and if he counters it, we just play Wicked Wolf, have it fight this, and go down to 2. And in that position, we're pretty behind, but I mean, you play to your outs. And our outs are not money, sadly. Alright, so if he's thinking, he probably does not have a counter spell. Maybe he has an enchantment he wants to use. And we're just gonna have this fight. Brazen Borrower would be super backbreaking. Let's see what happens. Brazen Borrower would be the only thing probably that we're that afraid of. And I think that's it. Alright, so Pelucranos does his job, and I think we're back into this game. If he attacks next turn, we can kill the Teferi. But what does he have in hand? Probably just a land, and he's just faking it. Our opponent might have just a land, he's faking it. He doesn't have an Omen, because if he did, he'd have probably used it. Elspeth conquers death. Alright, so we lose our Pelucranos, but we just run out our Tristani. Fires of Invention would be such a good top deck. We're not afraid of Veto because he tapped out of white. So I think we just play... So he ran out his land, we're pretty safe. I think we either go for this guy or for Kenneth. I think we're gonna go for him. Or what can we potentially do? Maybe play this and play Treacherous Blessing. Well, we're pretty low and I don't want to risk it at this stage. So let's just play this. And I'll decide after gaining the life if we want to go for the fight or not, for the blessing or not. So if he hits fires from the blessing, we can, or the incarnation, we can just go search for another Niv-Mizzet. That's a pretty fine line of play. I mean, opponent is getting back an Archon, so we should be ready for that soon. And this is gonna cost us 5 mana next turn, so I think we're probably gonna go for that. Is he trying to... He's probably not gonna Field of Ruin right now. If he does, it's a huge misplay. Because if he does go for Field of Ruin right now, we can just float mana. Get to play a 4-drop instead of a 3-drop. That would be backbreaking for him. We're gonna go for this just because we can gain the life with Kenneth. And the only backbreaking thing right now would be if he draws next turn, he draws a counter spell, in which case Kenneth doesn't resolve. And if Kenneth doesn't resolve, our only way to gain life is gone. But right now we top deck Oath of Kaya. We're just gonna scry. And we're gonna bottom that. So I think we run out Kenneth next turn. If he plays anything, we run out Wicked Wolf as well. And if I scry top, opponent will probably use Field of Ruin. So I think I should have scryed top just to fool him into using Field of Ruin now, but he doesn't have anything else to do, so he's probably gonna do it regardless. So next turn we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana, so we can go for 2 5-drops. Or for Kenrith, Wicked Wolf, haste, attack. That's also an option. Wicked Wolf would gain us 3 life back from this. And we can have it fight 2 things if you have to. We're probably not gonna need to, but we can. Having an option is always good. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run out Kenrith, and depending on what he does, we're gonna change our game plan. So we're gonna lose 1, not the biggest issue. If he counters, I just play the wolf, gain some life, go back up in life. He does not counter the Kenrith. I think at which point I'm not pressured to play anything else. We're gonna pay 2 life because we get to reanimate anything from our graveyard, so a reanimated Niv-Mizzet is just as good as a normal one. If he kills this by combat, we can just reanimate it. So we're gonna swing both at this, because I'm not sure what my opponent might be playing right now. I'm not that up to date with blue-white control decks. I'm not sure what they might have in the as instant speed interaction. Maybe Raise and Borrow would have been backbreaking if he bounces any of this, because he gets to bounce the Kenrith and we don't want that. We're in a position where we are pretty ahead right now. So he can't do anything to reanimation. Reanimation is gonna happen whether he likes it or not. I'm gonna float the mana regardless, but I think we still have a lot of basics in our deck. And I'm sorry blue-white control games take that long, but some people just want to play control, and I'm not against that. I encourage people to play control. My favorite thing to play. So Archon would be a 4/5. What we can do is play this, and then when it has the fight, give it 2 counters. It would be enough to kill it, but do we have the mana to do that? We have 4 green sources, so that would be enough. He's gonna get back his Archon. We're just gonna reanimate Niv-Mizzet. And reanimating his Niv-Mizzet, in my opinion, is enough to just deal with that. And we're probably gonna haste up Plater's Tiny, maybe haste attack. That would be good for us. Alright, so let's see. Wolf would gain us 3 life. Now I'm just playing around this because I don't want to lose to this. This is pretty backbreaking when you don't play around it, or just think about your plays ahead of time. So let's see. Another Elspeth Conquers Death would be bad for us, but he does not have it. We're just gonna reanimate Niv-Mizzet at the end step, and I don't think we can lose to this because we have Kenrith. So let's hit Niv-Mizzet and try to get the Incarnation. Incarnation would get rid of this, get us a 4-drop. 4-drop meaning probably this. Do we have another Polukranos left in the deck? I'll check when this resolves. We lost only one of them, so we can still get it. So Oath of Kaya Incarnation is good. We can double Oath of Kaya this down, at which point we net a lot of life. Alright, so opponent is considering if he can still win this game or not. He's probably gonna concede right now. He's just roping me. So opponent decides that he still wants to suffer. Polukranos fight is decent enough as well. And we just gain life from Kenrith. That's good enough for us. So opponent has 2 cards in hand, and reading 2 cards in hand takes a lot of time. So let's see. Opponent is thinking, and he decides that he cannot deal with that. So we're just gonna have this fight this, and now we can check if he has any enchantments worth any value. If he does, he's probably gonna play them. If he doesn't, this is just gonna resolve. Alright, so I think we're just gonna attack with the team. We're not gonna use any ability, no. So attack with the team. Let's not extend our board state because if we get board wiped, we still have something to do. And just using this to gain life is enough. We're gonna jump back up to 8. So he's gonna take 17 damage. So next turn we kill him at this stage. I think we can safely end our turn, gain some life. Life is good. So he's gonna just draw 3 cards and discard 2. That's nothing. He's digging for a board wipe probably. He discards his veto because he knows that this game is over if he doesn't hit his board wipe. What could he have at instant speed if he's still blocking? Another one of these, or a Brazen Borrower. Brazen Borrower would have been brutal if I didn't keep this up to gain some life, because he could have just flashed it in, swing for 3, we're dead. But this does not kill us right now because we can just gain 5 life with Kenrith. I think we are gonna gain some life because before this board wipe happens. Let's just gain some life, submit, and we're gonna draw a card. And if we potentially hit another Kenneth, we can just use that to reanimate any of our targets that died. We sadly do not hit fires or Kenneth. But I mean, fires, I don't think I would even play fires at this stage because we can play more spells by just not using fires. So let's play our Fabled Passage, thin out our deck just a bit more. And I think we should have one more mountain in our deck. Let's see. This is usually where I got, yeah, I was right. Usually I'm wrong and then it's hilariously funny. I think we're gonna run out Incarnation to get rid of this. And probably Trostani. So opponent is thinking what we can get. Okay, he counters it, so we're just going for Trostani right now. And maybe, I think that's it. I think we're not going, we can't even go for anything else. So if he has another, what could you have opponent? Dispute? Really? So our opponent hits double counter spells, but that leaves him vulnerable and with nothing in hand. So another Incarnation should end his dreams of coming back into this game. So Incarnation, does that earn the concede opponent? So just in case, we're gonna Oath of Gaia, gain some life, just because we don't want to lose to anything. But I mean, I think we probably won this game. Let's Oath of Gaia him. And I think we're gonna go for an Atlas from the deck. I think we already played one. We already played one or not? That's the question. I don't think we already played one, so there is another one in the deck. So let's use another Oath of Gaia. And yes, we're fine with taking 1 damage. We're gonna net 2 life. This is only scary against mono red. Against any other deck, this clawed us back into this game. So opponent is thinking, I don't know why. I mean, if it doesn't have a counter spell, it would probably counter Incarnation unless he has Dispute. Dispute means that this would have been useless because we played it at the beginning of the turn. He probably just has another land that he does not want to play. And he's just roping us. I hate when people just rope you on arena. When I think I'm losing, I concede. Unless I see that my opponent is going for some combo and then I let him do it, because it's super satisfying to pull off your combo. So let's see. Opponent will rope us to misery. So let's find something else to talk about. Have you ever seen the Sonic movie? Because I sadly have not, and I don't think I'm gonna get to see it anytime soon. It was up in my theaters, but I had exams, and then sadly I studied for those exams and they got cancelled because of everything happening on right now. So we're gonna lose this because it's losing us too much life. We go for this. We not just a bit more card advantage because you know this isn't enough right now. All of this is not enough. So opponent is thinking of what he gives us. Sometimes just running out this makes your opponent just concede. So I think we don't care even if this is a third land. So we take the Kenneth, obviously. What he could have done, and what I sometimes do, is I put a very good spell and a land and something face down, and people just think, what could he have face down with the other one? Then they go like, let's take the face down card, and then they just take a land. That's something I would have done at this stage, but he does not. Let's see. So Kenneth off the top. Wolf is enough for lethal. So if Kenneth resolves, I think the game is over. Even if he doesn't, we don't have any other 4-drop to fetch for, if I remember. So he plays his land, meaning he has just one more land in his hand. And yes, I'm pretty convinced he only has lands in his hand at this stage. So we're probably gonna play Kenneth, Wolf, attack for game. Even we can play Kenneth, reanimate Tolsimir. Can we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we can reanimate something, give it haste attack. That's also enough to win the game. Let's just run down our boy Kenneth. And let's make sure we get mana to give him haste. Alright, so opponent with his last land in hand, considering if he is gonna rope or not, he does not. So 5 mana, we still have red for the ability. We're gonna reanimate. How much power do we need to kill him? 5, 8. I think Trostani does it. Trostani probably does it because it pumps our team. So run this down. Give them haste. Attack. Should be over. I mean, if he bounces this with like a Brazen Borrower, You don't get to give them haste, but he doesn't have the borrower. So we're just gonna give everything haste. And we're gonna give our opponent a good game. Opponent is not considered. Okay, so opponent scries. He's probably gonna field also, because you know it's super fun to delay the game as much as possible. If he does, I'm just gonna give something in counter. If he wants to delay the game, I will delay the game as well. Alright, so attack with everything. If he plays Field of Ruin, we're just gonna float a green, search for land, activate Kenrith, deal more damage to him. He does not. Good game, opponent. So if you like this deck, I will leave the deck link in the description down below. If you enjoyed this content, please consider subscribing to this channel. It helps me out a lot. Like, comment, and tell me what do you want me to build for next week of Mythic Monday. And with that, I'll see you guys next time.